Lord, I thank you for my life. And I wouldn't take nothing from my journey. And there's a passage of scripture in 1 Corinthians 15. And it says this, 15 and 43 through 50. It says, it's talking about life. It says, it is planted in shame, and it comes again in glory. Feeble when it's planted, then it comes again in power. Planted a natural body, comes again as a body of the spirit. And if there is a natural body, there is equally a body of the spirit. And so it is said that the first Adam was a living soul, and the last Adam is a life-giving spirit. But that which is natural comes before that which is of the spirit. Do you hear me, Pastor Ernest?
I hear you.
That which is natural comes before that which is of the spirit. The first is from the earth and of the earth, but the second is from heaven. And those who are of the earth are like the human who was from the earth. And those who are of heaven are like Christ from heaven. And in the same way, as we have taken on the image of the one who is from the earth, so we take on the image of the one who is from heaven. Tell your neighbor again, I thank God for my life. And I wouldn't take nothing from my journey. Now listen to me for just a few minutes, because it's time to give thanks. It's time to give thanks. It's time to give thanks for your journey. I thought for a minute I was going to take off my shoe and hit Ernest in the head for preaching what I had in my spirit to preach today. Thank God. Learn to thank God for your journey. I was watching a program. Of course it was a science program, because you know my addictions. National Geographic and Discovery Channel. Science program that sought to explain the cycle of life. Life, that energy that we all have and we don't know what it really is. If you've ever watched someone die, you've watched when it lifted, when the energy of life lifted, and the pupils would fix and dilate, and the breathing would stop, and they'd still look like themselves for a minute, but something substantive had changed, and the energy of life lifted, and humankind has been trying to find what that is, and not only understand it, but lasso it, grab hold to it, control it, so that we can animate and reanimate. There are people whose bodies are frozen in cryogenic tools and cryogenic tubes and connected to devices in hope that one way humankind one day will grab a hold to the energy of life and somebody will plug it back into them. Come on now. And make them become again what they once were. It's a great mystery to us, this life and birth and growth and death and life and birth and growth and death. And you know, I'm a mother, I've given birth to a child. But I really got to watch it when I watched my daughters give birth to. I was there both when Latrice's son was born and when Nubian's son was born. And for some reason, everybody else had walked out. They was waiting. And I was the one who saw the baby's head. Anybody understand me? And said, okay, here comes something. Something's coming and got a lot of hair on it. And it's on its way. And I was the one, you know, with the catcher's mitt, standing at the end. And it was an incredible, powerful thing to see and to watch and experience, and then see that new life come out and hold it in my hands and look at it make that journey from being a fish to being an air-breathing human being. Anybody understand me? From living in water to living in air. It's an incredible cycle. Life, birth, and then growth, and then death, and then life, and then birth and growth and death over and over again. And I realized something. When I was watching birth in the birthing room with my girls, I realized that all life from the creation of life is linked together. Tell your neighbor, you're kin to me. Because all of life comes out of the original spark. That thing that we've been trying to arrest and control. That thing that we, as human beings, want to control. Now we got cloning, we kind of got that. But we can't make life.
That's right.
The breath of God that makes life happen, we cannot even seem to define fully. Who was my mama when she was breathing?
Right.
And who was she 5 minutes later when she stopped? She still looked like herself. But something substantive went out of her. Anybody hear me? What was it? Where did it come from and where did it go? What was it? Where did it come from and where did it go? You kin to me, because all life comes out of the original spark of life. Stephen Hawking, who is an incredible astrologer, astronomer, someone who not only knows about all of the things we talk about, the universe and black holes and quasars, and then understands the religiosity connected to that. When we talk about the planets and whose sign you're born up under and all of that kind of stuff. He said one day when he looked thoroughly at the creation of the universe, he said he concluded that there must be a God. The original source of life, the original spark of life, the original, all of life comes out of the same spark. We are all linked to one another. And all life on this planet, look at this, living and dead. Y'all didn't hear what I said. Because we carry the markers in our gene code. For everyone who has ever lived before us, use some of them. Oh yeah, you got some of them. Somebody said, well, I'm this race, I'm that race. No, baby, there is a human race. You are different cultures. Oh, you didn't hear what I said. But we are the human race because we all come from the same spark of life. Anybody hear what I'm saying? In the natural sense, when we have children, we mark them directly with the things that are about us, and they're readily recognizable. I remember the first time that when my daughter was born, she got to be about 4 or 5 years old, and she walked across the room. And my mother said, "The girl's got a behind." She said, "Where did she get that from?" She said, "Because, you know, we don't have that." I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's not big in our family." And so she told Nikki, she said, when she called her Nikki, she said, "Walk over there." She said, "Now walk back." Nikki's gonna kill me when she finds out I told you. So she walked over and she walked back. She said, "Oh yeah." She said, that girl's got a butt on her." I said, "She does." So I said, "It come from her daddy's people." She said, "That's what it is." She said, "It's her daddy's people." I said, "That's what it is. It's her daddy's people." See, there are things about us that we get from our human ancestors and family that are close by. They are readily recognizable. And they exhibit some traits or some features that we recognize. But then every now and then, some of our children will do some things and we'll say, now where did she get that? They say, well, and if it's bad, you say from your side. If it's good, we'll say it came from my side. But sometimes they do some things that didn't come from anybody's side. And we're trying to understand, now where did that come from? I don't know, nobody in my family acts like that. None of my people do that. And what about those blue eyes, though? Wait a minute. Where did they reach and get that? And what about that light hair? How did that? And the big feet, none of my people have that. There are things that come along that we don't recognize at all because some unknown ancestor manifests in our children. Come on with me now. Or in us. You wonder sometime about some of your behaviors. You may not know.
Right.
I know I heard about a few of them in my family. I told y'all about Aunt Mary Jane, right? They had to feed her to open the door and just push her food in and close the door. Because she was known for beating people. Anybody hear what I'm saying? It helps me understand myself on some days. Anybody walking with me? You got some Aunt Mary Janes and Uncle Bubbles too in your family. And it explains, and you know what I'm saying, some of the situations and circumstances. Unknown ancestors are manifesting in our children or in us because we are part of a living organism that precedes our memory and our association. Ask yourself sometime, who am I? I am the sum total of everybody who has ever lived before me. Because all manner of life comes from the one source. And even when we die without children, we cannot ever eliminate the elemental parts of our bodies, no matter how we arrange to dispose of them. What do you mean, Bishop? Somebody said, well, I'm going to be cremated. Somebody else said, well, I'm going to be embalmed and I'm going to be put in a tomb. And somebody else said, well, I'm going to be frozen and I'll wait until they figure out how to wake me up. The important thing I want to say to you is no matter how you're disposed of, this is the wonder to me. Even if you're cremated. Oh, I know I got this right. The carbon that comes from your ashes cannot ever be completely destroyed. It enters back, oh listen to me, into the chain. And somewhere along the line, somebody is going to pick up the carbon that came from, oh, where's Lavetta? Do I have it right, Lavetta? That came from your ashes. The exhaling of your breath. The carbon dioxide that comes from your breath. Every 7 years, your body replaces itself. Because your cells fall off. You call that ring in the bathtub dirt. But some of that, oh, I know what I'm talking about, are the cells of your body entering again into the life source. You hear me? And they're going to affect somebody's life further down the line. It'll be in somebody's body. Some part of you will go on no matter how you dispose of yourself. Oh, I know I got it right. Because everybody who ever lived is still here. They're in the air. They're in the ground. They're in your greens. Coming up from the soil. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, have I got it right? In your string beans? In your pork chop? Because the pork ate the corn, what came out the ground, where your ancestors are buried. Anybody hear what I'm saying? Everybody who has lived is still here. They're still here in some form, in some way, because there's a continuation of life. Anybody understand what I'm saying? This is the reality of natural life. Being born, growing, dying, and leaving something behind. I wish I could say that again. Being born, growing, dying, and leaving something behind. Being born, growing, dying, and leaving something behind. We have to make a decision today. In our being born, in our growing, and in our dying. What do we intend to leave behind?